Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's New England Football League Semi-Pro Summer Football Contest between the visiting Rhode Island Riptide and the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers. Today is a special day for the Badgers. It is the 5th annual Shalika Rogers Memorial Sweets Bowl, played in honor of Shalika Sweets Rogers. And you can donate to the Shalika Rogers Memorial Fund. There's a link for it in the description down below. So even if you couldn't make it to today's game, you can still contribute to this great cause. And as we get ready for the opening coin toss, I know the video is a little choppy, folks. You guys, if you've been watching the other streams, you know the Wi-Fi connection is just like that out here at Daly Field. So we'll upload a full recording of this later tonight without the choppy video. But if there are any other kinds of issues, like issues with the audio, for instance, then please speak up and say something either in the live chat. That would help us out a great deal. And I say us because I am not alone on the call here today. Joining me on the call once again, a rising sophomore at Brookline High School and an aspiring young broadcaster himself, Sam Lowenstein. Sam, thank you for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me on, Jesse, now for a second game here with the Golden Badgers facing off against the Rhode Island Riptide. The Badgers, their last game, they lost to the New England Black Panthers 20-6. Now, the interesting thing, the Rhode Island Riptide at the top of the division, same one as the Badgers in the conference. They beat the same Rhode Island Riptide team, or they beat the same Black Panthers team 41-0. So it'll be interesting to see how this one shapes up. It'll be very important for the Badgers to establish the passing game because they've had multiple different quarterbacks play the position this year. Jesse, we talked about it. Shane Bushy was warming up with Jonathan Joseph earlier. Looks like he might get the quarterback nod to start, but it'll be interesting to see that. And also, they're going to have to keep up with the running game, establish it better. Last game, as a team, only 10 total rushes, 22 yards. Golden Badgers will have to keep up with the offense.
All right, so we're about ready to get started with the first quarter of this game. I believe the Badgers won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. They had the wrong sides briefly there to open, so that's a fun way to start. But it will be the Badgers kicking off. The Riptide will receive the opening kickoff here in the first quarter. There's no active scoreboard clock here, so we're just going to be ballparking how much time is left. Seeing if we hear anything from the officials as the Badgers get ready to kick this one away. Now, kicking it away appears to be number 88, but I think that might be Eduardo Valesio because he is the team's kicker. And in previous seasons, he's worn number 88. He's listed as number 2 this year, but I think that's him getting ready to kick this one away for the Badgers.
Also, there is no number 88 besides who he would be on the team.
And the kickoff is going back, bouncing to the left, and just patiently letting it bounce out of bounds is number 0 for the Riptide, who could be one of about 5 or 6 different guys, according to their online roster. Either Abias Masilin, Erico Nobre, Kevin Arango, Jeremias Rodriguez, Yandel Sanatana, or Tim Walker. So if there are any Riptide fans tuning in who know who that number 0 is, feel free to let us know in the live chat. But otherwise, the out-of-bounds kickoff will place the Riptide, I believe, at their own 35 to start off the penalty. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35.
Well, another thing, Jesse, about all those number 0s, 4 out of the 6 number 0s are wide receivers.
Yeah, so we'll see what the Riptide can do here on their first possession. Looks like number 3, Captain Luis Gonzalez in the backfield, getting ready to take the snap On his right looks to be number 2, Rashid Lozada. Got 2 receivers on one side, 1 on the left, and a handoff. Lozada shakes out a tackle, heads to the sideline. A flag is thrown, and I think this one's going to be coming back, as I think one of the Riptide blockers was holding against Badgers DB Jonathan Joseph, and so it'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, and we'll replay first down.
Well, the interesting thing there is the player for the Riptide, as he held Joseph, he went down. Joseph did a good job to block him off, but regardless, a 10-yard penalty for the Riptide.
And it's important to note it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so they won't actually be moving 10 yards back. They'll be moving 3 yards back in terms of the net loss of yards. They won't lose the down, obviously. So it's going to be 1st and 13 from the Riptide 32-yard line. And here's snap, handoff. Lozada going up the middle, gets smothered by a couple of Badgers tacklers. Looks like number 38, Marquise Allen, and number 28, Ty Holly Sr.
Well, the Riptide had an offensive explosion last week after they beat the New England Black Panthers 41-0, and a big difference maker in that one that everybody should be watching out for. Kyrell Barr had 3 receptions, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns, not 3 touchdowns, but both of those touchdowns were all the touchdowns receiving-wise.
All right, it was a 1-yard gain on the run from Lozada on 1st and 13, so now 2nd and 12 from the 33. Looks like 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Taking the snap is Gonzalez, stepping up in the pocket, still scrambling around, being chased. Finally gets the ball away to Lozada in the flat. And Lozada's got some room, and he's going to get past the marker for a big first down pickup. And what a dance from Luis Gonzalez in the pocket to buy time before he dumped that one off.
And that's the thing about Luis Gonzalez. He's such a mobile quarterback. In the last game for the Riptide, Gonzalez had 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown also, so he's a dual threat player. And you see Lozada there coming across on a flat route. He's just wide open. The Badgers don't account underneath.
And so it'll be a 13-yard gain on the catch and run by Lozada, getting them a first down and 1 extra yard. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 46. Looks like 1 receiver and 1 tight end on the left. They got 1 receiver out wide and 1 kind of set in the slot for a potential jet sweep. They are going to do the jet sweep. Going to the left side, trying to dance to the sideline. Gains the sideline, dragged down on a short gain by number 22, who was not listed on line for the Riptide, so I'm not entirely sure who that is, but a short gain there on first down.
Here in the early game, Jesse, the Riptide trying to shift the Badgers from side to side. They had that success play where the quarterback was able to evade, but now trying to traverse field, go to the left, and keep them on their toes.
It has sort of been a move from, side to side. They had the run that was called back on the holding penalty going to the left. They had the short run starting to the left but then going up the middle. The dump-off pass went to the right, and then this jet sweep going to the left. You're absolutely right, Sam. 2nd and 8 from the 48 now for the Riptide. New running back in the backfield alongside Gonzalez. 2 on either side. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Gonzalez standing in, firing a deep shot, looking for his man. Dropped! Oh, that one looks like a go-ahead pay dirt touchdown for Kyrell Barr, but no dice as it goes right through his hands.
On that play, the Badgers single high safety. Shane Rizzoli, the only player back, as Kyrell Barr burns Marquise Hughes, a great opportunity, and he's just not able to hold on. And Jesse, he was a huge difference maker on the last one, so watch out for him later in this game as well.
We do have a couple of notes in the live chat. Someone is saying that, someone's saying number 0 is Ola, then saying number 3 is Ola. Ola Ogunbodedi for the Riptide is actually listed online as number 00, so I'm not sure if he's wearing a different jersey, but Listed as number 3 is Luis Gonzalez, taking the snap, rolling to his right, firing a pass out of reach, and that is going to bring up 4th down as that one missed wide of number 81, Antonio Martinez.
Well, that play to Martinez, it was a good play design, just a little out route, mid-distance, but it was ahead of the first down marker, just not perfect timing for the Riptide.
Making those throws on the run, it's harder than it looks. You know, we got so many guys in the NFL today and at the college level that make that look way too easy, and it really isn't.
Oh, 100%.
4th and 8 from the 48. The Riptide near midfield, so it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that they might go for it, but conventional wisdom would suggest to punt in this situation, pin the Badgers back deep, and see if you can get even better field position after taking them off the field, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Setting up in a punt formation, the Riptide's number 16, who is not listed online, as we got a timeout called. The Badgers had number 27, Dasani Houston, back deep to potentially return that. We'll see what happens after we come out of this timeout. And during this timeout, once again, I would like to direct your attention to the link down in the description section of this video down below to the GoFundMe page for the Shalika Rogers Memorial Fund, which I believe is aimed to set up a scholarship fund for young student athletes in the area. So a good cause to be sure, in honor of a great woman who was, you know, as it says on the GoFundMe page, was a sister to all who knew her and was a great member of the community, military veteran, former police officer, and just a friend and sister to all that knew her. So be sure to check out that link in the description section if you would like to contribute to the cause. Out of the timeout, snap a little wonky, but it is received. 16 punting it away, and the Badgers just letting this one go as it curves way out of bounds between the 25 and the 30 there. The Badgers going to take over following the punt.
Well, the Badgers, again, we're going to see who plays quarterback for the MetroWest Golden Badgers. It looks like Marquise Hughes and Shane Bushy are both out on the lineup for the team.
Well,
Marquise Hughes is also wide receiver.
Yeah, I was about to say, both of them have spent some time at receiver. You know, Marquise Hughes and Shane Bushy, two of those types of players that you can just classify as an athlete because of their well-rounded skill set, especially at this level. Their ability to play in multiple phases makes them great weapons for any team they might be on. And so we'll just have to see who comes out to take the snap, as it'll be 1st and 10 from the 26. And it looks like it's going to be Bushy taking the snap. Hughes is going to line up out wide. There's going to be 2 receivers on either side of Bushy. I think he's got Cuba Morales in the backfield with him. Here's the snap, handoff. Morales finds a hole, bursts up the middle, carrying some tacklers forward for a very nice gain, and that's going to be good for a Badgers 1st down.
It's a little inside zone run for Cuba Morales, but you can see on the offensive line, a great job by the right guard to push out on the defensive line. Also, Felipe Ferreira doing a good job in a wide open haul for Morales, but there is a player down.
Yeah, there's a player down for the Riptide. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it might be number 2, Rashid Lozada, who was the primary running back for the Riptide on their first possession. You know, I always say, no matter who it is you're rooting for, you never root for an injury to any player on either side. So hope that Lozada is okay. You know, you can always hope, you know, during summer football, you can always hope that, you know, maybe it's just a heat-induced cramp and that it just looks worse than it is, as Lozada is going to be helped off the field. You know, if nothing else with how bunched up that play was, it's more likely that it was a contact injury, which is generally more promising than a non-contact injury. But certainly wish him nothing but the best and a speedy recovery from whatever this is as he gets helped off the field.
100%. Hopefully, he's already seems to be walking at least semi on his own power.
He's
Not
got his
really,
arms wrapped
yeah.
around two people, so he is stepping with both feet, but he is clearly trying to keep a certain amount of weight off of whichever side is hurt. So, again, we hope he's okay. Fresh set of downs for the Badgers. 1st and 10 from the 37 after the 11-yard run from Morales. And they hand it off once again. This is Keith Campbell running into the pile and trying to stay on his feet, but gets dragged down. That might have been a 1-yard gain, depending on where they spot it. And I think it will be 1 yard for Keith Campbell.
Well, the Badgers attempting to establish a good running game here in the early going, just running it right down the throat of the Riptide. Really quite an opposite offensive attack. When you think about it, the Riptide, they went to a lot of pass plays, early play action without even running the football. So
they had a couple of
runs. A couple.
But you're right. The Badgers, we've only seen the runs so far today, and it'll be interesting to see if they get the pass involved with the revolving door they've had at quarterback, like you said, Sam. 2nd and 8, actually, after a 2-yard run. 2 receivers on either side of Bushy. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, goes for a screen pass to Jonathan Joseph, who's dancing around, finds an opening, trying to escape, nowhere to go. Dragged down from behind, might have gotten a gain of 1 as he was taken down by number 9, C.J. Perry.
Well, there it looks like Jonathan Joseph would have had more of a hole if he had just taken it down the sideline and cut outside instead of going back to the inside where more defenders were.
Yeah, that felt like kind of a Madden play, where you're trying too hard to juke around everybody instead of just taking the gain that you've got. But
still got an extra yard.
Easy for us to say up here is all I will say. It's a lot easier to say that from up here in the broadcast booth as opposed to down there inside the face mask staring down the various players trying to get you. 3rd and 7 for the Badgers. Snap to Bushy, fakes the handoff, steps up, scrambling, looking, nowhere to go. He's going to take off with it, and he's going to get the first down. Shane Bushy has got some room to run. Shane Bushy off to the races, dragged down after a huge gain on the QB keeper.
That's just your classic QB draw. Bushy taking it up the field. He's able to evade the defense. Great blocking up front from the Badgers as they continue to establish the running game here in the first quarter.
Absolutely. Great blocking, especially from the interior linemen, because at the start of the play, Bushy had guys coming in off the edge. He had to immediately step up in the pocket, but then the blockers gave him enough for opening to walk around, see if he had an opening for a pass, and then when he didn't, just take off running with it. 1st and 10 for the Badgers inside the 25, looks to be about the 21-yard line on the Riptide side of the field. Bushy low snap, but he picks it up, just has to run with it himself on a broken play, and he just slides down to the ground as the Badgers are lucky that one didn't end up worse than it was. Actually got a few yards, looks like, on that one.
Definitely, you for sure take a couple yards on a play like that after the low snap from Ferrer. But Jesse, the Badgers, they've had a lot of success when they've ran the football like this. In the game that we covered together against the Ravens, they had the first touchdown of the game on a drive where they almost exclusively ran the ball, just churned down the field. A very similar drive here.
I think that was a gain of about 4 for Bushy on that scramble, as I think it is 2nd and 6 from the 17-yard line. 2 receivers on either side of Bushy. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw. It's not quite there. Pumping, looking, firing, hits Marquise Hughes. That'll be good for a first down. Is he in the end zone? Looks like
down
just
at the 1.
Short, but a great completed pass from Bushy to Hughes. Sets them up with 1st and goal.
And man, Jesse, this can't be overstated. The running game, it sets up the play action game as well. It looked like it was another inside zone run, but instead Shane Bushy cut to the right side, found it open. Marquise Hughes, nice little in route from him. setting up prime opportunity.
Well, it was a nice secondary route is what it was, because they had him on kind of what looked to be like a sit-down, like a hitch route or something.
Then he cut inside.
And then he cut inside because he saw his quarterback scrambling. Great instincts. First and goal from the 1 for the Badgers. Can they punch it in here? Snap. Bushy gives to Morales. Going up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown. Badgers.
They overload the right side. 3 wide receivers lined up. Heavy set up front. And Cuba Morales takes it in.
Just a simple play there. And the Badgers, on paper, coming into this game as some pretty big underdogs against the Rhode Island Riptide, but they punch first here and take the 6-0 lead as Shane Bushy, who has not spent much time at quarterback this year, leads a fantastic scoring drive down the field, a couple of great runs, a nice pass to Hughes, and then Cuba Morales, who got the drive started with a nice run for a first down on the first play for the Badgers offense. He punches it in from 1 yard out. Point after kick is sent up and through. Great recovery by the holder, Joe Lyman, to prevent disaster on that attempt. And then Eduardo Valesio puts it through the uprights as the Badgers take the 7-0 lead.
And this is the second game now out of 2. In both of these games that we've done, the Badgers have gotten off to a hot start on the right foot. Just a great job. We talked about it at the beginning of the game, the importance of establishing the running game, how that's going to set up the play action. That's exactly what the Badgers did. And Shane Bushy did great with his arm, but also he orchestrated a good drive, really as a field general.
Absolutely. Hustled with his legs, found the spots with his arm, and helped get his team down the field. Fantastic efforts from Shane Bushy, Cuba Morales, Marquise Hughes, and of course, can't undersell the impact that the blockers, the offensive line, had on that play as Bushy had time. They had time for a secondary route from Hughes. They had time for a couple scrambles from Bushy. Just a good all-around team effort from the Badgers as they drive for the eventual 1 yard touchdown run.
Great smash mouth football, Jesse.
Now the Badgers coming out to kick this one away. As again, it's Eduardo Valesio after the successful PAT kick. Got some folks in the live chat celebrating the score for the Badgers. Valesio setting up to kick this one away. Couple players back deep for the Riptide. This one launched. It's curving to the left again, and it's going to take a bounce taken by number 0. Runs towards the middle, gets himself some room, trying to head through a hole. Slightly tripped up, but stays on his feet. Now dragged down inside the 35 by number 25, Kyle Mitchell, as that one just a little bit short of where they would have gone, of where they would have been if that ball had bounced out of bounds again.
That's a really good kick from Valesio because it doesn't go out, and that's a great return coming from one of up to 6 number 0s. Not exactly sure who it was, but by the returner, he takes it up. Traversing fields, we talked about a Madden play. That's a Madden play for you, and he was able to turn it into positive yards.
Absolutely. A nice return from the Riptide's number 0 as that ball took a bounce that was not headed out of bounds. Couldn't let it go out. He had to make something of it, and what he made of it was getting out to the 34. So very similar starting field position for the Riptide as they come out with 3 receivers on the right and 1 on the left. Luis Gonzalez hands it off. 16's got a big hole, and he gets stood up and dragged down. Combined efforts of Marquise Hughes and Ty Hawley Sr., but a nice gain from the Riptide's number 16.
Nice little shotgun zone to the running back there. As you see is nice play from him. He's able to take on both of the defenders, Ty Hawley Sr. and Marquise Hughes, for an extra gain or 2, and those are the plays that often go overlooked, but got tackled at about the 39, the 40. He was able to push it forward for an extra yard.
It'll be 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard gain by number 16, who again not listed on line for the Riptide. And coming out once again, they've got 3 on one side, this time on the left side, 1 on the right as they've switched hash marks. Gonzalez fakes the handoff this time, firing on a go route, looking for Barr, and he's got the catch, and he has got pay dirt. Touchdown, Riptide.
This time they connect. Kyrell Barr burning Marquise Hughes for the 2nd time this game. This time he holds on. Touchdown for the Riptide.
And that one, a big 59-yard catch and run. You know, simple go route getting past the cornerback, and this time does not drop it like you said, Sam. Kyrell Barr receiving it from Luis Gonzalez as the Riptide answer back after that long, hard-working scoring drive by the Badgers. The Riptide are like, watch this, and then one play, and they're on the verge of tying it up. 7-6 the score with the PAT coming up.
And that's why the Riptide are at the top of the conference at 3-2, top of single A semi-pro football here in Massachusetts.
Well, at least in the New England
At least in the New England Football League. Not semi-pro in Massachusetts, but in the New England Football League. Plays like that. This one, if Kyrell Barr had caught the pass on the first drive, it could be 2 touchdowns, and now they look to tie it up.
And they won't tie it up. The kick is blocked, and the Badgers pick it up. They're trying to return it. No dice on the return, but a big breakthrough from Jonathan Joseph to block the PAT as the Badgers are going to maintain their lead at 7-6.
Man, Jonathan Joseph, such a versatile player, Jesse. Good kick returner, plays offense, defense. He can do that on special teams, do the unsung stuff. Well, blocking a kick isn't such of an unsung hero thing, but the little things.
Absolutely. And so with the score 7-6, the Badgers with a tiny lead here. And we'll see if they can answer again on offense, as if the Riptide can make plays like that, you know, that puts extra pressure on the opposing offense to make plays, because if all it takes is one play, then with a game this close, all it takes is one play and the Riptide could flip the script and take the lead immediately. So we'll see how the Badgers respond to this pressure when they get the ball back.
Well, I will say the thing about that, Jesse, is that the Golden Badgers, they've had most of their success when they have ran the football. At the same time, they can't let the fact that the Riptide are so explosive change that.
Long kick. It's going to stay out of the end zone, so Jonathan Joseph forced to pick it up, pointing, directing his blockers. He finds the sideline, puts on the Jets. Jonathan Joseph escapes the tackler, jukes around another. He spins. He goes. Jonathan Joseph, goodbye. Touchdown, Badgers.
In the flip, Jesse, he's a human joystick. Jonathan Joseph, there's a Madden play for you, traversing his way all through the defense, and how about that for an explosive play?
Boy, look at this last move to get around two defenders. The classic Madden spin move there, and he finds daylight. Jonathan Joseph, after blocking the PAT to maintain the Badgers' lead, he scores a touchdown to extend that lead. And now Valesio coming back out to kick the PAT. Boy, what a play. And, you know, after seeing the Patriots go yard on the first play of their preseason last night, that's a nice little follow-up. I enjoyed that one.
It was awesome. And Jonathan Joseph, he hit the B button twice there while moving side to side. just an incredible play, and he had a kick return touchdown in the game we covered against the Ravens as well.
That was called back.
That was called back,
due to
yes.
a hold, but no callback, no flag
it was
on this
Jean-John
one.
Vier who took it back in that one.
That's right. Jean-John Vier had one that did go for a touchdown. Second kick return touchdown of this 2025 summer season for the MetroWest Golden Badgers.
And special teams, such a core aspect for them.
And special teams, unfortunately, does not come through for them on the PAT kick. Misses wide right, but the Badgers have already matched their highest scoring output for a home game this summer, as they've already put 13 points on the board here in the first quarter. As we'll see if they're switching sides. I'm not sure if this is going to be the end of the first quarter. Like I said, no scoreboard clock here, so we kind of just have to, wait and see if they flip field here. The two teams going off to the sidelines suggest to me there might be a bit of a break here, so this might be the end of the first. We'll check and see which sides everyone comes out. Like I said, some folks celebrating in the live chat as the Badgers with two big scores. Javon Furtado saying, touchdown, let's go, proud of you guys. Kamisha Davis saying, good job, guys. And also, great run off that last kick return. Shashay Hughes saying, let's go, Badgers, great job, and ran almost the whole field, let's go. And boy, I could just keep on going and talking about that big return by Joseph, but important to note, we have switched sides. So it is the end of one here at Daly Field. Badgers 13, Riptide 6. As we get ready for the kickoff from Valesio, following the kick return touchdown by Jonathan Joseph.
And the Badgers special teams has played such a big role in these games that they've been competitive. The big difference between this one and the game against the Ravens, that game, the offense really slowed down, but the special teams picking them up in this one.
In this return, we got a slip and a fall. Recovers, heading back towards the middle of the field is number 8, cuts up the middle, and he is stood up immediately. Big takedown there by Kyle Hudson to prevent number 8, Alex Tainch, from going anywhere. And it's going to be 1st and 10, around a similar spot of the field to the last two possessions for the Riptide, as they're going to be starting at what appears to be the 32.
One thing about the Rhode Island Riptide, their quarterback, Luis Gonzalez, he threw 2 picks, no touchdowns in a game where they lost 34-0 to the Windsor Flyers 2 games ago. So this team, they have some cracks, not perfect, although they did do very incredible against the Ravens in their last one.
Last time with the ball, it took just 2 plays for the Riptide to go down the field and score a 7-yard run and then a 59-yard pass from Gonzalez to Kyrell Barr. Badgers gonna have to watch out for that and try and keep their opponents in front of them if they want to maintain this lead. It's still just a 1-score game, 13-6 here at the start of the second quarter.
Also gotta wonder if the Badgers are gonna change up their defense. They were playing man-on-man coverage, single high safety with Shane Rizzoli, nobody else back deep, and they've struggled a lot to control Kyrell Barr.
Absolutely.
See Jean-John Vier suiting up on the sidelines. Can't see it on the camera, but he could be an important difference maker for the team, added explosiveness for the Badgers.
And on both sides, because he's another athletic guy that plays both sides of the ball, so he could be an addition to the secondary for the Badgers once he gets properly warmed up. That is a possibility to be sure. As we come out of the brief timeout, the Riptide lining up for 1st and 10 here at their own 32. Actually, I think it's the 33. Snapped Gonzalez, hands off. 16 bursts up the middle. Dragged down, but a nice gain there. Going from about the 33 to what looks to be about the 40. So another 7-yard run, kind of mirroring the start of their last drive. It'll be second and short again. The last second and short they had, they went yard on the deep pass to Barr.
It's a good strategy for the Riptide. Get it in a running situation and then go deep. See how the defense is lined up again. Single high safety, man-on-man coverage, all on the sides. They have a stacked box as well. The Badgers do. Only one player back deep.
And a tighter formation for the Riptide as Gonzalez takes the snap, steps back, scrambling away from the pass rush, pointing, firing, deep shot, broken up at the last second. A big pass break up at the last second there by the Badgers. Number 2, who I think is Xavier Garcia, as he has worn number 2 in past games. And Valencia wearing number 88 today. A huge breakup as that one almost connected with number 22 for the Riptide, but ends up being dropped on the last second hit from the safety.
That's a ginormous play, and the importance on that one was the safety help coming in. It wasn't just a one-on-one matchup, how it was to those 2 passes to Barr.
It'll be 3rd and 3 at the 40-yard line for the Riptide.
Some discussion in the secondary, and still single high safety with a tight formation.
Gonzalez takes the snap, looking to throw, bumps into a blocker, but scrambling back towards the middle, running around, flag is thrown, and he gets hit. He's staying on his feet. He's still going. They can't let that play go. Gonzalez taking off and finally forced out of bounds after a couple of hits. That would be good for the first down, but it's going to depend on the flag. He was running around inside the pocket, so there's a high likelihood that's going to be coming back, and I think it will be.
And it's offensive holding.
Offensive holding is going to bring this one back. It'll stay 3rd down. And Gonzalez found himself running right, running left. He did eventually find an opening and did a good job staying on his feet, but that initial scrambling around inside the pocket ended up resulting in a holding penalty that's going to push them back a true 10 yards. Back to the 30, and it's going to be now 3rd and 13.
But also, Jesse, if he hadn't gotten the first down, the Badgers could have just declined the penalty, and it would be a punting situation, or maybe not a punting situation.
That's true. It would have been a short line to gain, but instead we've got 3rd and long coming up. The Riptide from their own 30 in tough field position following the penalty. Badgers trying to get their coverage organized as the Riptide now have 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right, planned from the right hash. Gonzalez steps back, looks, fires a pass, hits Barr across the middle. Barr's got the first down, fumbled the football, and he falls on it himself. It looks like, boy, almost a clutch strip by the Badgers defense, but Kyrell Barr manages to avoid disaster, recover the fumble, and indeed does get the first down for Rhode Island.
Well, for a second there, it looked like Kyrell Barr was going to turn up the field, perhaps beat the secondary, but then he dropped the ball.
Well, he got hit.
He got hit.
That's the thing.
Then
He
he
had a safety in front of him, and he had a cornerback on his side. And while he was watching the safety, who was getting ready to hit him, he got hit on the side on his ball arm by the cornerback.
That's a lucky play for the Riptide.
Absolutely. Almost a lucky play for the Badgers. Instead, it bounces the Riptide's way. First down, a handoff to 16. Bounces to the outside, finds the sideline, still going, and dragged down deep into the second level. That's going to be a first down run for number 16. And now the Riptide, after almost turning over the ball a couple of different ways, they're moving deep into Badgers territory.
The Riptide have had a very balanced attack, Jesse. A lot of success on those inside zone runs from left to right, both here in the second quarter and in the first quarter to the running back. And then just a second later, they can easily go to Kyrell Bar over the top for an explosive gain.
Absolutely. And they're showing they can mix up different kinds of runs because they have had a lot of success on those inside runs, like you said. And then that one, number 16, bounced to the outside, going around his tackle.
Well, the beauty of the inside zone is you can either take it up the middle or bounce around the tackle.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Two receivers on either side of Gonzalez, 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 27-yard line. Gonzalez hands it off, 16 again, shaking off the initial contact, running into a pile of Badgers players that stand him up and stop the progress. And it will be a short to medium gain there. Looks like, I'm trying to see where they're going to spot him. Looks like they're spotting him at the 23, so I think that'll be a 4-yard gain on 1st down for number 16, 2nd and 6 coming up.
And that time on the inside zone, the running back tried to take it to the outside, but there was a swarm of Badgers on to get him. They were lined up in a favorable spot, as most of the wide receivers were lined up in that part of the field. As you can see, yeah, heavy set, or not heavy set, but majority receivers, actually no, same receivers on each side, but regardless, enough players to get the running back.
Gonzalez rolling out, dodging, weaving, firing, looking for the end zone, intercepted! Xavier Garcia! A huge stop to prevent the touchdown and give the Badgers back the ball. They'll be deep in their own end, but a huge takeaway from the safety, Xavier Garcia.
What a play, Jesse. And Gonzalez just floated that one up, attempted to throw a back shoulder fade, but it was too short in front of the receiver, and it went right into the breadbasket of Garcia.
And give the pass rush from the Badgers a lot of credit on that play, Sam, because part of the reason Gonzalez just kind of threw up a lob and hoped for the best is that he initially went to his right, Eli Plaza on the edge right there, sealing off the outside run. He tried to step in, and then I think it was Dasani Houston who came up and was right there to meet him, so he had nowhere to go. He had to get rid of the football, and in his haste, he ended up throwing up one that was taken away by, I believe, Xavier Garcia is the one wearing number 2 today. I hope I'm right on that one because he just made a very big play.
Again, in the live chat, if you have any corrections about name pronunciations, numbers, anything like that, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Of course. Badgers back out on offense, 2 receivers either side, 1st and 10 from their own 2-yard line. They're deep in their own backyard. Bushy hands it off. Finding a hole up the middle is Keith Campbell as he gets them a nice chunk of yards to get them a little further out of their own end zone.
Both teams have been running the football out of shotgun formation rather than under center, opting for halfback zones as opposed to dive plays.
I think that was a gain of about 6 on that play from the 2 out to the 8-yard line. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Badgers. And now Bushy won't have to take the snap from his own end zone following the run from Keith Campbell. Looks like 2 receivers and a tight end on the right, 1 receiver on the left. Bushy hands off, bursting up the middle again. Campbell gets stood up for a short gain there as a defender was there to fill that hole immediately.
He gets stood up well, and the Riptide stacking the box there. Not a lot of players deep in the secondary expecting the run again after the successful first down play.
Looks like a gain of about 2 that time from Campbell. And it's going to be 3rd and 2 coming up.
It'll be interesting to see what are the...
Oh, it's a new player. It's not Xavier Garcia. Javon Furtado helping us out, saying that Garcia plays for the Middlesex Longhorns now. So not sure who number 2 is, unfortunately. If anyone knows, feel free to let us know in the live chat. But he did come up with a big interception there. 3rd and 2, Bushy, blitz coming, fires a pass, complete, and sitting down with enough for the first big catch there for the Badgers. I think that is Joseph. Yes, Jonathan Joseph with the big first down catch.
Gutsy play from Shane Bushy, darting it right in between the defense to Joseph. A perfectly placed ball there, Chessie.
Precision passing, and I'll tell you, as a fan of the Badgers, I was getting a little nervous. They had a bit of a corner blitz coming off that left side, or at least an extra edge rusher coming off that left side. Bushy was looking the opposite direction to his left, rather, and managed to get the pass away with time to spare. And Joseph making the smart play, not trying to do anything fancy, and just making sure his team got the first down.
This season, Shane Bushy, not the original starting quarterback. It was Marquise Hughes at the beginning of the season. He led the Badgers to their only win so far. Then it was Kirkland and Shane Bushy. He's done very well.
1st and 10 from the 17 now for the Badgers, following a 7-yard reception by Joseph. They send Houston in motion. Bushy. Oh, the handoff is fumbled. Disaster in the making. Who's got the ball?
Looked like it was Shane Bushy. Looks like he came on to it.
Boy, near disaster for the Badgers. That play just looked all out of sorts. Off timing on the handoff, off position, results in it being dropped. And while the Riptide got lucky their last possession to avoid a fumble around midfield, this time the Badgers even luckier, avoiding a fumble deep in their own end as they're going to be pushed back to what looks to be about the 13. So it's going to be 2nd and 14 following a 4-yard loss.
Judge, there's been a couple of these for the Badgers, 2 mishandled snaps that were low, and now this play. Communication has not been perfect for the team despite them winning.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 14. Sending a motion man. Going up the middle as Bushy rolling to his right. Nowhere to go. He's going to take off with it. Trying to shake out the tacklers. He cannot. Gets a short gain there, but gets dragged down by number 1, Jason Gracia. And that's going to be a gain of maybe 1 or 2. Trying to see the exact spot. Looks like they got up to the 15, so a gain of 2. So it's going to be 3rd and 12 for the Badgers. A note in the live chat saying that number 2 appears to be Keith Campbell Jr. It does say Campbell Jr. on the back, but Keith Campbell Jr. is number 4, actually. He's also got Campbell Jr. on the back of his jersey. He's just been loaning out his old number 2 jersey to some players. He loaned it out to, I think he either loaned out the number 2 or the number 4 jersey earlier this season. So I'm not, again, a little confusing. But for now, I'm guessing that number 4 is Keith Campbell because that's how he's listed online. But,
it's the fun of semi-pro football.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone has any additional details to help separate things, I'm happy to get more information, as it looks like a timeout is going to be called. And a fun comment in the live chat from Bert saying, nah, number 2 is Christian Gonzalez. He's like that. I like that comment. I like that. That's fun.
It's nice.
And during this break, during this timeout, once again, I would like to direct your attention to the description section of this video, where you can find the link where you can donate to the Shalika Rogers Memorial Fund here in the 5th annual Shalika Rogers Memorial Sweets Bowl here at Daly Field. You know, a good cause. Be sure to check that out if you've got some money to spare. Always good to help out a good cause. So the Badgers facing 3rd and long here, Sam, and it's a tight spot, as if they end up turning it over, they could be giving the ball back to the Riptide in very good field position. They want to get first downs, but they've got so many yards to go here.
Well, still a difficult chance for them, but they've had a couple of these. Shane Bushy was able to get out of his own end zone earlier on this drive, and in the grand scheme of things, the Riptide's offense has been very explosive, so you might as well still take a shot here on 3rd and long.
And Bushy takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it to the flat. Marquise Hughes nowhere to go, swarmed immediately, and the Badgers are going to be forced to punt.
They opt for the conservative option. Marquise Hughes had a couple other players cutting up the field on deeper routes, but small bubble screen to Hughes.
Looks like no gain on the play. It's going to be 4th and 12. A timeout was called by the Riptide as they're trying to save themselves some time before halftime.
You know what I wonder, Jesse? On the sidelines, do they have clocks or not? Because
I don't think
I don't
so.
think they do. You told me that story a couple years ago of the Sweets Bowl way back.
That's right. A few years ago, the Sweets Bowl, I think it was 2022, the Badgers defeated the Boston Chargers.
Chargers did not take it lightly.
The Chargers were not happy with that. But for now, a play underway. The punt from Valesio is caught by number 0. Number 0 looking for somewhere to go. Finds some room on the right side. Finding the sideline. Hopping over one guy, but grabbed around the leg and wrapped down out of bounds around the Badgers' 20-yard line as the Riptide take over in very good field position. They're going to be starting right at the edge of the red zone to start, but hard to say how much time they have to move before halftime. So we'll see how this plays out. But to go back to the story you were referencing, Sam, the Badgers were playing the Chargers in the 2022 Sweets Bowl, so just the second annual Sweets Bowl. And the Badgers managed to take a late lead, 16-14, and then the Chargers driving down the field. They go for a pass to the end zone. Receiver drops it, and then the officials say that the game clock was at 0. The Chargers did not take that well and ended up chasing the officials out of the stadium. It was a wild night. Gonzalez going straight for the end zone, broken up by Jonathan Joseph.
What a play by Joseph jumping in, and the receiver is hurt.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, that
was a tough collision at the end of the play.
Yeah, that was tough. Joseph didn't even have a chance to turn around as he was just trying to keep up with the receiver.
Timed it perfectly, but...
Yeah, exactly. Timed it perfectly. No contact, so no pass interference. But after the ball hit his back, the two of them fell to the ground, and I imagine that Joseph must have fell on top of his legs or something. Maybe it may have gotten him a little rolled up. So once again, hope he's okay. We saw one Riptide player leave due to injury, and that was running back Rashid Lozada. We hope this receiver is okay.
Got an emoji from Joanna Selikoff-Fricky in the live chat.
Yeah, we've had a number of nice comments in the live chat so far today. Happy to see some active audience participation in the live chat, and hope to see some more participation from the audience as we go throughout this game, not just in the live chat, but hopefully on the GoFundMe page for the Shalika Rogers Memorial Fund. The receiver appears to be walking off on his own power. A little bit of support on either side, but seems to be coming off faster than Lozada did. So that's a good sign. Hopefully that guy is okay.
Just hate to see it, but good to see that he's walking off on his own power, and good field position here for the Riptide at the 20-yard line of the Badgers.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 10 from the Badgers' 20-yard line. Gonzalez fakes the handoff, looking for the pass. Fires across the middle, tipped. Oh, accidentally took an interception away from his teammate. Ty Hawley Sr. gets the pass deflection as, you don't know who's behind you. You got to throw the hands up. It's almost too bad as that ball was heading right to the waiting arms of Dasani Houston, but it's just going to be an incomplete.
Boy, Ty Hawley Sr. as well had his arm out, almost reeled it in, nearly got the interception for himself, but instead it's 3rd down and 10.
Would have been the 2nd interception on the day for the Badgers as number 2, not sure who, but Number 2 came through with the big interception in the end zone.
The Riptide have had red zone struggles this game.
Absolutely. And now they come out 3rd and 10 from the 20. Gonzalez stepping back, looking to throw, scrambling to his right, running out of room. He's just going to have to run, and he gets tripped up and brought down from behind. Does get a nice gain. The clock will keep running, and a timeout's going to be called by the Riptide to try and stop the clock as we are running low on time here in the first half. It's going to be 4th and about 2, I think, following the 8-yard scramble from Luis Gonzalez.
Gotta wonder if the Riptide are gonna go for it here on 4th down. Most likely
sure.
they will.
Oh, for sure they're gonna go for it.
Especially here in a league where kicking isn't as much of an important automatic or just an important part of the game.
Yeah. Also, it's 4th and a very manageable distance. I believe they've still got one more timeout. And we don't know how much time is left on the clock, but it's a one-score game. You could tie this game up going into halftime if you get the end zone here. So this is going to be a big momentum decider here in this one.
Be huge for the Golden Badgers if they can get a stop here, because the Riptide started off the game with the ball.
That's true. The Badgers are going to get the ball to start the second half. That's a good observation, Sam.
It was a quick drive where they missed a pass that would have gone for a touchdown.
Oh, it's first down. They called it 1st and goal from the 10, so they gave him 2 more yards. Gonzalez looking to throw, starting to scramble, dragged down by the ankles for a quarterback sack. It's Ty Holly.
Well, Ty Holly makes up for his unintentional mistake 2 plays before he gets the sack, and they're going to spike the ball.
And indeed, forced to spike to bring it right to 3rd and goal, trying to kill clock before the half. Huge play from Ty Holly. The Badgers have been playing so well in the trenches today, and they've been putting a lot of pressure on Gonzalez, and that time they finally get to him for a sack. Holly just laying out to grab him around the ankles there.
The Golden Badgers have had the momentum, Jesse, for the whole game, with the exception of that one touchdown. But after the blocked extra point by Jonathan Joseph, it's been all Badgers in this one.
And it's going to be 3rd and goal from about the 16-yard line. Gonzalez steps back, steps up, scrambles to his right, looking for somewhere to go. He's going to have to run with it, cuts towards the middle, cuts to the outside, still on his feet, still going, and he's dragged down short of the goal line. They can't clock it. This is 4th and goal. They have to just run another play. If they try and clock this, they'll lose possession. And no, they're not going to try and clock it. They're running. Gonzalez firing out the back of the end zone. That's a turnover on downs. A big defensive stand by the Badgers here late in the second quarter.
He tried to do a fake spike there and then gun it to the back right corner of the end zone, but to no avail. It was through. And it's Badger football and the end of the half as well.
I believe so. I believe the Badgers are probably saying, we're just going to kneel it, so whatever time is left, just if there is any, just kill it. And so that is going to be halftime. Our score at the half, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 13, the Rhode Island Riptide 6. We're going to take a break, and we're going to mute our mics. We're going to play some ads for our local sponsors, as well as a trailer for the Golden Badgers official team docuseries, Only Way Is Up. But we'll be back with the second half of this ball game. Again, go to the link for the GoFundMe page for the Shalika Rogers Memorial Fund down in the description section of this video. And be sure to stay tuned for the second half, as it's been one heck of a ball game.
Hi, my name is Cam from Cam's Crochet Creations. I'm here at this Hall and Green every Sunday from 10 to 1, and I sell bags, bucket hats, bandanas, stress blobs, dinosaurs, and more, so come check it out.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing LLC. I am very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the action here at Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. Jesse Mayfield Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein here for this New England Football League summer football contest between the MetroWest Golden Badgers and the Rhode Island Riptide, with the Badgers leading the Riptide 13-6 after the first half. We're going to switch things up a bit. We're going to have Sam running play-by-play and me doing the color commentary here for the third quarter. We'll switch back for the fourth, but Sam, the show is yours. Take over.
Well, here, first time doing play-by-play ever for football. The Badgers on top, 13-6 over the Rhode Island Riptide. An upset start in the game, and this one is now returned here by Dasani Houston. Houston bounces off a tackler, gets spun around. Houston keeps on going, and he gets to about the 25-yard line as he traverses the field.
Boy, Sam, that's the kind of play that yards after contact was invented for as a statistic. Dasani Houston refusing to give up. You know, seemed like he was initially waiting for some holes to open, and they just didn't open up. He shook off the first tackler pretty easily. The second one looked like they had him dead to rights, and he just refused to go off his feet. You know, kept planting his feet in the ground and staying upright, and got a couple extra yards from it.
And also, Jesse got a little help from one of his players, kind of pushed him forward for a second. Not a tush push, but a little shove, a brotherly shove, just for an extra yard or two. Here, the MetroWest Golden Badgers starting off in the third quarter up 13-6. They had a special teams long touchdown. Jonathan Joseph took it back, and speaking of yards after contact, he had a lot of that. Shane Bushy, the quarterback for the Badgers. Shotgun formation, two receivers right, two to the left. Running back is Cuba Morales. Takes the snap as Bushy, handoff Morales. Left side runs into a wall on the defensive end, and he gets stood up backwards.
Yeah, that was tough. Number 53, Chand Nobre for the Riptide, just got around his blocker, around one of the Badgers' guards, I think, and there was just nowhere for Morales to go, as it looks like he lost about, what do you think, 3 yards on that one?
I was thinking 2 in my mind, but 2 or 3. Again,
but
we don't
actually,
have.
Is it 4? Because
Might be.
it looks like they're at the 22, and they started at the 26, so it looks like a loss of 4.
4 yards. Again, we don't have semi-automated chain gangs. We have what we have. Shotgun formation for Shane Bushy. Morales to his right. 2 receivers on each side again. Bushy checks something. Gets set. Marquise Hughes in motion. Bushy takes the snap. Looks left. Bushy going down the sideline for Jonathan Joseph, and it just goes through his hands.
Oh, man, that was tough. He was tied up with the cornerback on that one. Very tight, very strong coverage. I think it's number 8, Alex Tainch, who was on coverage on Joseph there. And you know something, Sam, you talked a lot in the first half about how the Badgers have been playing a single high safety look against the Riptide's offense. The Riptide playing 0 safeties against the Badgers. They're just playing with a couple of linebackers back at the second level, but
Still
nobody
0
at the third.
safety.
Yeah.
Nobody back. The
And so
referee's
the
the only
Badgers-
player in the secondary.
The Badgers tried to test him deep, just couldn't quite complete it. Couldn't quite get the separation.
Rush from the linebacker. Shane Bushy rolling out. Bushy evades a defender, makes a man miss, guns it up in the air, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Pags.
We got a flag on the play, though. What is the call? Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Riptide. Oh, that's a huge break for the Badgers.
That's ginormous. It was Jesse Pagliarini, the captain, who made the interception on top of the receiver, but all for naught.
Boy, that is huge. It looked like, I mean, you can hardly blame him. It looked initially like Bushy was heading out of bounds or maybe trying to take off running with it. They were just relentlessly trying to get the sack or get a hit on the QB. He ends up throwing it as he goes out of bounds. And I was looking at the ball, so I didn't see how late he hit him, but bad mistake for the Riptide defense. But one unsung hero of that play I want to shout out is number 71, John Sutherland, the right tackle for the Badgers, because the blitz coming off the edge looked like he was going to be uncovered and have Bushy dead to rights. Sutherland recovered just in time to get a light push on him, give Bushy just enough separation that he could escape out of the pocket and result in that zany play for a penalty first down.
Also, all the morale and momentum in favor of the Badgers. Bushy shotgun formation, three receivers left, one right is Marquise Hughes. Bushy, handoff up the middle. Cuba Morales lost the football. It's taken away. Taken away by one of the number zeros. He gets brought back to about the 44.
That's
a brutal mistake.
Unfortunate development for the Badgers. I was getting ready to sing the praises of the offensive line for doing such a good job winning in the trenches and pushing forward and giving Morales the hole, but ball pops out of his hands. It was in a pile of bodies. I couldn't even see how it popped out, but that is a big momentum shifter as the Badgers had just gotten some momentum back, avoiding a turnover on the penalty, only to now give it away on the very next play. That's rough.
That was Ola Ogunbadede who got the football.
Well, he's number double zero.
No, he's number 0 for...
Yeah, no, it was number single 0. It wasn't
number 0. I thought double 0 was playing 0.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
It was somebody with the number 0.
Exactly.
Luis Gonzalez, the quarterback in shotgun formation, man in motion. Handoff to the running back, inside zone, cuts it through the middle of the field, and he gets down just before the 50-yard line.
A nice run from number 16, but I'll tell you, I want to see the Badgers stop going for these shoulder tackles and properly wrap guys up, because we've seen the Riptide just stay on their feet and keep going a couple of times when they get hit by those. Like, I understand that it's fun to hit the hit stick and knock a guy off his feet, but get the tackle.
You can't get the hit stick from the side. Shotgun for Gonzalez. Far bubble screen. Pass is caught. The ball comes out. It's taken back by Jonathan Joseph. He's going to the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Badgers.
Oh my God. How about Jonathan Joseph today? A blocked PAT, a kick return touchdown, and now a scoop and score. I was getting ready to just praise him for doing a great job wrapping up Kyrell Barr. And then he says, oh no, this isn't stopping at a tackle. This is a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown for the MetroWest Golden Badgers. Jonathan Joseph donning the cape for the Badgers today.
He's the Travis Hunter of semi-pro football and more with the added special teams. Unbelievable.
Boy, got to call him Neon Joseph here with the way he's able to make an impact in all three phases like that.
He's something. Wow.
I mean, what else can you say?
Unbelievable.
Great reaction to the bubble screen. Great grab. Great job gripping the guy. I had just gotten finished talking about grab the guy and make a proper tackle. He goes for a spin around tackle, forces the ball out of Barr's hands. You know what? You go for you properly grab a guy for a tackle, good things can happen.
All smiles for Jonathan Joseph as what appears to be his girlfriend's coming out to congratulate him.
And a successful PAT from Eduardo Valesio makes it 20-6.
20-6. It's all Badgers in this one, Jesse.
Oh my goodness. What a wild and zany game this has been. There's been turnovers. There's been wild special teams plays. There's even been explosive offensive plays, but it's just been an absolutely insane game so far. What a way to wrap up the home slate for the Badgers with the 5th annual Sweets Bowl in a game like this against the top team in the Maritime Conference. This is an insane game so far.
Again, the game's not over yet, but
Absolutely true.
morale is in the favor of the Golden Badgers. The Riptide have had some team issues, motivating or stuff of that nature. All smiles on the Badger sideline. And a little fact, Jesse, for the people watching, if the Badgers hold on, this would be their first win at home that you've covered since 2022, the Sweets Bowl then, when they won 16-14, the game where the referee was chased off by the other team.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The Badgers have been getting, about one win a season the past couple of years, but it's always been on the road. They got a win last year. It was on the road. They won their season opener this year. It was on the road. I've been like, come on, just give me one game where I can see the Badgers put it all together. And like you said, plenty of football left to play. We don't want to count our chickens just yet, but it's a 2-score game after that scoop and score by Jonathan Joseph, and that's a big difference.
Eduardo Valesio to kick off for the Badgers. And it's a little onside kick.
And they just let it bounce out.
Wow. An onside kick from Valesio, but he hit it a bit too hard. Couldn't get enough backspin on it.
Yeah, nobody could quite chase it down. The Riptide saw the angle it was going out of bounds, and I'm thinking they might decline the penalty and just take it, or, oh, it didn't get to the 35, which means that the kick out of bounds placed it at the 45, I think is what the rule is. So the Riptide going to start 1st and 10 at their own 45.
I still think that's a smart play from the Badgers because they have so much more momentum. So if they get the ball on the onside kick, it increases even more. But even with good field position, it's not going to make that much of a difference in the greater scheme of things, even with the very favorable field position for the Rhode Island Riptide.
Well, we'll see how much of a difference it makes on this possession. The Riptide have had some explosive plays, but they've been struggling putting it all together.
Gonzalez in shotgun. Hand off to the running back. Cutting up to the right side. Tackled by Jonathan Joseph at the 49.
And see, now is a more proper play for me to talk about the strong fundamentals that Joseph is showing. It's, easy to recognize the great flashiness of his play when he's juking around guys and forcing fumbles. But just wrapping a guy up for a 4-yard gain, it's not going to get on many highlight reels, but it is good fundamentals that limits what your opponent can do and puts you in a better position for the next play.
Definitely, and you said it, Jesse, that the Badgers have to stop doing these shoulder tackles, hit stick attempts. Jonathan Joseph doesn't do that. He has good fundamentals, and the running back was not able to get away on that play because of it. Shotgun for Gonzalez. Takes the snap blocking from the running back.
Oh, I think this is going to be an illegal formation. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be an illegal. You know what it was? The receiver on the near side, you might have seen him trying to step back and signal to the ref to get the okay. He wasn't getting the okay, and so he wasn't officially set. And so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
That's a killer for the Riptide. It's the type of play where we talk about fundamentals. The Badgers have had much better fundamentals in this one.
You're absolutely right, Sam. And even though the Badgers have only gotten one offensive score so far, we haven't seen any real back-breaking penalties from their offense. We haven't seen too many bad snaps. Felipe Ferreira has been pretty consistent.
Only one turnover, too.
Yeah, only one turnover so far. Granted, they had one turnover that was overturned by a penalty, but still, they've been playing a very solid game of football today.
2nd and 11. Gonzalez, 3 receivers lined up on the left. Takes the snap, running back, goes forward, and it's going to be a run for Gonzalez. He lost the football. It's out. Who's got it?
I think
it looks like it's Badger football.
That's what it looks like. We'll see as they're pulling people off the pile. It is. Oh, my goodness. Another clutch play from the defense, and this time it was Eli Plaza stripping the quarterback.
He ripped that one away from Gonzalez.
And a great fall on the ball by the Badgers. I didn't quite see who fell on it. Did you see it, Sam? Who managed to recover that ball? Because it was just a scramble.
Looked
Pig
like it
pile
was
on that
covered
one.
up. And again, to set the context in this game to consider how well the Badgers were playing, they lost to the New England Black Panthers 20-6. The Riptide beat the same team 41-0.
Yeah.
In back-to-back weeks as well.
Exactly. You'd be forgiven for expecting this to be a multi-score lead in the other direction before this game started, but the Badgers playing some of the best football they've played all year, and this is how you want a team to finish the season.
It's the best football they've played all year. Shotgun formation for Shane Bushy. Takes the snap, handoff, right side, cutting up field, down to about the 42-41. Keith Campbell on the run.
That was just a really well-executed run. Great job from the blockers setting it. And look at that upfield block by Joe Lyman, the wide receiver, preventing the DB from setting the edge. He had to step a couple of yards past the line and engage with his man and perfectly set that leading block to give Keith Campbell the room for the first down run.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line of the Riptide. Shotgun formation for Shane Bushy. Campbell to his right. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Audible from Bushy. Bushy takes the snap, little fumbled snap, handoff to Campbell, and he stood up at the line of scrimmage.
That's another one where you're just happy that it wasn't worse, because that one just snap a little off, timing a little off, but they managed to hold on to the ball and basically make it for no gain. So you lose it down, but you don't lose the ball. And when that happens, I'll take it.
They gained about half a yard on that play. So
if even
half a yard. But again, not a negative gain in football. So important to stay ahead of the sticks. Both teams getting set, and the Riptide, their defense has been catered to defend against the run, but it's meant that when the Badgers go to a pass play, they've been burned badly.
Well, they have to, commit to defending the run because the Badgers have been doing so well in the trenches, pushing their linemen back.
Goes both ways. Shotgun for Bushy. Man in motion is John Vier. Bushy throws it over the middle, tipped up in the air, and it's incomplete.
Hot potato, and once again the Badgers have to be glad that that is just an empty play as opposed to a turnover. Throwing it a bit into traffic, Lyman managed to kind of cut in front of the defender who almost had the pick, and then a second guy got a hand on it, and
into a lot of traffic there. That's
yeah.
thorough drive during rush hour. right into everything.
Man, you are going to appreciate the reference even more in a couple years when you start driving yourself. Because if you think traffic is bad when you're just a passenger in the car, man, wait till you get old enough to actually be the driver having to survive that nonsense.
Bushy at shotgun. Takes the snap. Handoff to Cuba Morales. Morales makes a man miss before going down a bit ahead of the 35-yard line to about the 34.
Boy, if he had just gotten a little bit more on that attempted hop over the defender, he could have gotten even closer to that first down marker, might have even potentially got it. Looks like they're about 3 yards short, but they're in opposing territory on about the Riptide 34. maybe even the 33.5, so maybe more like 2.5.
It's a go-for-it situation.
It's absolutely a go-for-it situation. This isn't a situation where you punt. You're too far down, and it's close. It's a 4th and short, so you absolutely go for it in this situation.
100%. Shane Bushy lined up in shotgun again with Morales to his right. Box stacked up front from the Riptide. Bushy takes the snap. Blitz coming. Rolls out right. Runs around. Bushy floats it downfield. And it's almost reeled in.
Oh my gosh. That gave me Dalton Kincaid in the AFC Championship vibes. A wild play that shouldn't have even had a chance and yet ended up being so agonizingly close.
Jonathan Joseph almost got to it.
Almost, and Shane Bushy with a Herculean effort on the scramble just to stay alive and somehow get that ball away in the first place. And is that already the end of the third quarter? Looks like they're switching sides. Yeah, they're switching sides. The third quarter is already over, as that possession is going to end it. The Badgers get one big score on the scoop and score from Jonathan Joseph, and at the end of 3, it's Badgers 20, Riptide 6. The Riptide taking over, and we're going to swap back to me on play-by-play and Sam on color. Sam, you did a wonderful job on play-by-play there. You can absolutely add that scoop and score by Joseph to your reel.
100%. First football one.
Absolutely. So the Riptide now with 1 quarter left to play to try and come back from a 2-score deficit. They'll have 1st and 10 at their own 34. Gonzalez takes the snap, hands off, 16, running around, cutting around a defender, going up the middle, and he's got room, and he might have daylight. Number 16, putting on the Jets, and a diving stop by Dasani Houston saves a touchdown, at least for the moment.
Oh, and Houston is down. He got rolled up on by the helmet of one of the Riptide players on his leg.
Oh, that is tough. Dasani Houston made such a clutch play there. Almost seemed like he might have bounced back up too quickly, put his legs upright, and in a position to be rolled over. But man, no quit in that guy on that play, as that could have been a touchdown. It could have been a one-play, first play of the 4th quarter touchdown for the Riptide that would have cut it to a 1-score game.
He saved the touchdown there. Great play from Houston. Hopefully he is all right. And the running back he churned through every level of defense. It looked like it was zone coverage there. Oh, no, this is bad.
It does not look great for Houston. Oh, it's looking worse every step, as now he's not putting weight on either foot as he's being carried off by 2 of his captains, Marquise Hughes and Ryan Gorman.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's rough. We certainly hope that he is okay. Dasani Houston, another one of those guys, a big contributor on both sides of the ball and showing his value in that hustle play. So hopefully that looks worse than it is.
Just hope that he's all right.
Gonzalez looking to throw, floats one up, looking for the end zone, and it's a catch. And
was he down by contact?
I don't know what's going on. Are they trying to say there's a flag? Are they trying to say that they went before the Badgers were set?
That was a weird play.
That was a weird play. Looks like they're going to say he was down at the 1-yard line. I was so flabbergasted by that play, I didn't even see who made the catch. But a big catch for the Riptide is going to give them 1st and goal at the 1.
It seemed like the Badgers weren't ready defensively.
Yeah, it looked like they weren't set. I think they got really thrown off by the injury. And so the Riptide might have, gone into hurry-up mode there. Caught the Badgers off guard. First and goal from about the 2. Gonzalez fakes the toss, takes it in himself, and that'll be a touchdown for the Riptide.
Well, there, the Badgers had the box stacked on the right side, heavy blitzing coming from only one part and not the other part, as Gonzalez was able to dash left on a QB power play for an easy touchdown.
Yep. And it was an option play, really, because he faked the toss to his running back and then opted to keep it. Managed to fake out the one defender right in front of him. And they're going to go for 2 here to try and cut this lead down to 6. 20-12 is the current score. 2 receivers on either side of Gonzalez. Snap, steps back, looking, firing, and it's caught by number 22 for a successful 2-pointer. And the Riptide starting off the 4th quarter strong with 8 points quickly put on the board to cut the Badgers' lead down to 6.
Just like that, and you can really sense a momentum swing here at Daly Field. The Riptide more focused, and especially after that injury, hoping that hopefully Dasani Houston is okay. That really seemed to rattle the Badgers. The Riptide were able to get that long pass play and then the quick touchdown for Gonzalez. Just like that, it's a 6-point game.
Second touchdown of the game for the Riptide. The first was a long passing touchdown from Gonzalez to Kyrell Barr. And now the Badgers trying to get organized. They can't let the injury and the touchdown fluster them. They've got to make sure they're on the up and up. They need to know who needs to be on the field and who is on the bench on a given play. They have to get set for the kick return here. They've gotten at least one big play on a kick return today. The big kick return touchdown by Jonathan Joseph. The Badgers have gotten 1 score in each phase of the game. A rushing touchdown from Cuba Morales, a kickoff return touchdown from Jonathan Joseph, and a fumble recovery touchdown also from Joseph. They're going to go for a line drive kick that's going to bounce out of bounds. No chance for the Badgers to return, and they'll get 1st and 10 at their own 35.
That's a nice catch by the referee on the sideline. Caught it on a 1-hop, able to reel it in comfortably. Good field position for the Badgers. Hopefully that will help them establish some more momentum in this one, because the Riptide, all they need is a touchdown and an extra point to take the lead in this game. The Badgers have controlled the game really for all of it, with the exception of the first couple drives, and even then they scored on their opening drive. It was just the Riptide had a very explosive offense at the beginning. Kyrell Barr had a couple nice plays, including a long touchdown, but he's no longer matching up with Marquise Hughes when the Badgers are on defense, so that matchup was not good for the Badgers.
We'll see how things stack up here. 1st and 10 from the 35. 2 receivers on either side of Bushy. Takes the snap, hand off. Campbell dodges, goes up the middle, and finds a small hole to get through for a small gain.
Little gain there from Campbell, and both teams have opted for these really versatile shotgun run plays. Campbell just darting it up the middle. He opts to go through the center, but the box is decently stacked, and oh no, hate to see this. Oh no.
And it's another Badgers injury. They're starting to drop here in the 4th quarter. Keith Campbell coming off the field. One bit of good news, Dasani Houston is back on his feet on the sidelines, so this might just be heat cramps. The Badgers have been hustling all day here. It's not the warmest game they've played in this summer. There have been some real scorchers throughout this summer season, but
looks to be heat cramps.
Yeah, it looks that way. Campbell actually trying to stay upright briefly, so that might just be heat cramps. We'll see if the Badgers can get set, as it looked like he gained about 4 yards on that run to make it 2nd and 6.
Still looks very painful, but good to see that appears just to be cramps.
2nd and 6. Looks like 2 receivers on either side of Bushy once again. Takes a low snap, hands off. Going up the middle is Morales. He's got some blockers in front of him. Bursts through a hole for a first down run.
Took 3 defenders to bring down Cuba Morales, busting through the hole there. Cuba Morales, he is the Thunder. And this Thunder and Lightning duo for the Golden Badgers. He's the one that has all the power running. Keith Campbell, more of the Lightning, a quick back. Nice run from Morales there.
Yeah, and a great job again from the blockers for the Badgers, making those holes for him, giving him room. Morales, like you said, he is, one of those more power-based runners where he might need a little time to build up his speed, but once he does, he's hard to take down. And the blockers doing a great job giving him that room to build up that speed and have some explosive runs.
Well, the blockers have done a great job in this game opening up running lanes.
And it's another handoff, no running lanes this time as Morales stood up at the line. No gain, maybe a yard, depending on the spot.
Seemed there, Jesse, that the running lane collapsed right as it opened under the left guard. Morales was just able to push forward for a yard or two, but not much.
Yeah, looks like a gain of 1 on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 9 from the Riptide 47. We'll see what the Badgers do here. They haven't had that much success through the air. We'll see if they try for it at any point here with 3 receivers on the left and 1 on the right and a 2nd and long situation. Bushy takes the snap, another handoff, and again stood up at the line. This one might be a loss of a yard, maybe a loss of 2.
Didn't even get the chance to go forward. Forward progress called on that play, and they're back to the 50.
Looks like they spotted him at the 48.
48.
So a loss of 1 after the gain of 1. So 0 net yards through those first 2 plays. And it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 48-yard line.
Can really sense the momentum evening out in this one. The Riptide trying to make a crucial stand here on 3rd and 10 to keep themselves in the game after they got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion on the last drive.
3 on the left, 1 on the right. Bushy takes the snap. Blitz coming immediately, and he gets the throw away, and it bounces in front of the hands.
That looked to be caught.
No, hit the ground.
That was close.
It was very close, but
just barely hit the ground there.
Yeah, just hit the ground. Marquise Hughes couldn't get his hands fully under it, and it'll be 4th and 10.
That's about as close as you're going to get. Marquise Hughes almost made a daring catch, coming back to get it.
2nd straight possession. The Badgers have had their drive end on a near miracle catch when Shane Bushy just barely got the throw away after getting blitzed.
Shane Bushy, he's been a great improviser in this one. There was a free runner on that play. Bushy was still able to get away and gun it.
Now Valesio setting up to punt. Takes the snap, boots it away. The return man just watching it as it's bouncing. Favorable bounce for the Badgers. That's going to go out of bounds at around the 10-yard line for the Riptide. So they're going to have a long ways to go for a potential game-tying score.
Just inside the 10 there. Good punt from Valesio.
Exactly at the 10.
Exactly. Wow, that's literally exactly. From our angle, it looked like it popped in at about the 9 or so, but that's as close as you can get to spot on.
So a nice punt from Valesio. And even as a special teams guy, he's been making quite the big impact for the Badgers. Some strong punting, some strong PAT kicking, 2 for 3 on his PATs. That's the difference between a 4-point game and a 6-point game. And that's the difference between the Riptide needing a PAT to take the lead or just needing a touchdown if Valesio had missed those other 2 kicks he had taken. So now the Riptide starting off 1st and 10 at the 10. In their own backyard here, 3 receivers on the left of Gonzalez, 1 on the right. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, looking, firing a deep shot right into the waiting hands. Who else? Jonathan Joseph taking off, running with it. And he gets grabbed around the ankles by Gonzalez himself. But how about Jonathan Joseph? He's doing everything today.
Oh boy, Jesse, what a game it has been for him. He undercuts a deep post route Gonzalez was trying to throw to. Would have been a touchdown if he had connected, and Jonathan Joseph was the waiting arms right there.
And again, I give a lot of credit to the Badgers pass rush on that one. Flushed him out of the pocket, forced him to his left, forced a quicker throw than I think he probably would have liked. Didn't get a chance to set his feet, and so he couldn't put enough power under that throw because he was scrambling.
And if he had, that would have been a touchdown.
Potentially.
Huge difference.
I mean, Joseph stopped running with the receiver, so it's hard to say because Joseph just saw, oh, that's not going to have enough. He read it perfectly and stopped and just waited for it. So an interception, a fumble recovery touchdown, a PAT block, and a kick return touchdown, all from the man, the myth, the legend, Jonathan Joseph. 1st and 10, Shane Bushy takes the snap, floats one out to Joe Lyman. He gets hit immediately, and that's going to be a big loss of yards there off the tackle from number 5, Alex Rodriguez.
That's a dangerous pass, too, on the bubble screen. When you lob it up like that, it allows the defenders to get back and potentially pick it off.
Yeah,
lucky there.
That was a weird one, and
Not
the
sure what they were
Badgers lost 5 on that play. Going back from the Riptide 33 to the 38. That was a wonky design of a play.
It's really weird.
Well, we'll see how they try and bounce back here. 2nd and 15. You know they'd like to add to their lead here. And so they come out with 2 receivers on either side of Bushy. Morales, the running back, alongside Bushy. And he takes the handoff, going up the middle, sheds 1, and gets stood up, but at least undoes the damage of that first play. It'll still be 3rd and long. Whoa, some extra pushing and shoving afterwards, and out comes
Flag
the
comes
laundry.
out.
Now the question is, who started it? And that's a big difference there, depending on who started it. Still got some extra shouting afterwards. They've got to calm down. I think they're going to call it on the Badgers. Let's see. Here comes the signal. Personal foul on the Badgers. And again, it's an intense game, a back-and-forth game. You can't let your emotions get the best of you down the stretch, as that's going to be 15 yards or even further back for the Badgers. They're going all the way back to the Riptide 49. The chain gang has got to only have one guy go back with that one.
And the Badgers have been so composed up to this point.
Now the question is, I think, yeah, it's after the play was over that the unnecessary roughness was called. So they lost all of those yards, and so now it's going to be 3rd and 26. A net loss of 11 yards on that one. And boy, A very tough drive for the Badgers this time here in the fourth. Bushy takes the snap. Got some time, but running out of it, he just takes off and gets a short gain, dragged down from behind by number 50, Kyle Barnes. And it's going to be 4th and long for the Badgers, and they've got a decision to make. They are on the opposing side of the field, but they're also facing 4th and 21.
This may be a punting situation.
This might be, and it looks like they're bringing out Eduardo Valesio to try and pin the Riptide deep. He had an excellent punt his last time to pin them at the 10. And we'll see what he's able to do. I agree.
Definitely.
We'll see what they do here. We'll see if number 0 back deep for the Riptide opts to punt, or opts to return, or just let it go. He's just going to let it go. And, oh, that's a less than favorable bounce. It's going to go out the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback for the Riptide. So I believe they'll get the ball at the 20. Just couldn't get the side spin necessary to get that one out of bounds.
And that one looked like for a second it was going to spin out, but to no avail for the Badgers.
All forward spin that time. And coming down to the wire, some notes in the live chat from Heck Maldonado saying good game, and from Shay Hughes, I was pronouncing it wrong earlier, got the nice correction, but from Shay Hughes saying, let's go Badgers, y'all almost there. And almost the operative word, as it's still a one-score game here in the 4th and final quarter of play. Can the Badgers hold on to their lead, get their 2nd win of the season and their first home win in almost 3 years? Or can the Riptide complete the comeback here in the 4th? 1st and 10 from the 20. Gonzalez in shotgun, hands it off, 16, running to the outside, got some room, and breaks off another tackle, finally forced out of bounds after a 20-plus yard gain.
That's another big run from the running back. He's done quite well on that concept of the inside zone. He's just been pretty unstoppable for the most part in this one. The Riptide looking to complete once what looked like an improbable comeback after they were down 20-6 after 3, and we talked about it. The Badgers, if they could win, if they win this game, it'll be your first called victory since 2022, but it's not over till it's over.
Absolutely not. 1st and 10 from the 39 now after a 19-yard run from number 16.
Riptide are also major favorites. They were going into this one.
Gonzalez looking, firing over the middle, hits Barr. Barr lost the football. Oh, it's on the ground. Was it recovered? And a flag comes out late as number 22 fell on it.
Looked like he passed it almost to his teammate.
Are they going to call an illegal forward lateral?
Illegal forward pass. It might be.
That would be zany if they decide that that was an attempted lateral. Wild.
It almost looked like it was.
I mean, it looks like it was possible. It's just absolutely
crazy.
Yeah, this whole game has been absolutely crazy.
Marquise Hughes is on the sideline. Looks like he's having some cramps.
Not sure. I couldn't tell. I was trying to. It's hard to hear the ref through my headset. But it looks like it's going to be 2nd down. So they pulled that one back. They might have called the penalty. Looks like 2nd and 6 abouts. Gonzalez takes the snap, looking to throw. Escapes, fires, deep shot, got Barr. He's got the catch, and he's got the touchdown. And the Riptide tie this one up at 20.
Who else but Kyrell Barr beating the defense on a deep crosser. A flag comes out.
Oh, a late flag. I think they called unsportsmanlike conduct on the Badgers. Might have been arguing and jawing a bit too much after that one. And so that might maybe be enforced on the kickoff or something, but we've got a very big PAT coming up here with the score now tied at 20 off another deep shot to Kyrell Barr, his second receiving touchdown of the game. And now the question is, if you're the Riptide, do you go for one or do you go for two? They are 0 for 1 on 1-point attempts. They are 1 for 1 on 2-point attempts. Either one would give them the lead, so a very interesting decision coming up for the visitors here in the fourth quarter.
They're huddled as if they're going for two. The Badgers were up 20-6 at the end of the third quarter. The Riptide have stormed back after they got a 2-point conversion after a touchdown. Kyrell Barr just now getting his second touchdown reception of the game.
Here we go. Do the Riptide take the lead or do we stay tied? Gonzalez in shotgun directing receivers. Takes the snap, rolls to his left, running out of room, but he escapes, trying to dance, grabbed, escapes again, still running, reaching! They say he got it! They say he reached across the line and got the 2-pointer, breaking a number of tackles as he just barely reached across the goal line, and the Riptide take the lead 22-20 here in the fourth quarter.
That is brutal. Took on multiple tacklers and then dove across, barely broke the plane of the goal line for the Riptide lead.
Boy.
16 unanswered.
All in the fourth quarter. And the Badgers, shell-shocked on the bench. They have got to find that next gear of energy if they want to try and come back. This game is not out of reach. Shay Hughes asking a good question in the live chat. How much time left in the game? Which is a very good question because we don't know.
We have no idea.
Unless we see like the refs signaling for the 2-minute warning, or unless we hear someone talking on the bench about how much time is left, we can't know. The Riptide, after the unsportsmanlike penalty on the Badgers on the touchdown itself, they get to kick this off from the 50, and they're going to line it out of the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And the Badgers looking disorganized as they didn't even have enough guys out on that play. They were trying to get the last couple of guys out right as the ball was being kicked away. They can't let this loss of their lead shake them up to the point that they become this disorganized. They've got to lock in if they want a chance at their own comeback here. All they have to do is score, and they would take back the lead.
A field goal would do it. A touchdown would do it. The Badgers simply need points.
And they'll start from their own 25 here, 1st and 10. Their offense been having some problems the past couple of drives. That last one was an absolute disaster where they mostly just went backwards due to broken plays and penalties. Let's see what they can manage to do here. Can Shane Bushy lead them down the field like he did on their first offensive possession? 2 receivers on either side. Hughes in motion towards the inside. Bushy takes the snap, free runner coming, scrambling, and he's wrapped up around the ankles, lost the football, but they say down on contact. A lucky break for the Badgers, but Bushy still down on the ground after that one.
He took a hard fall there.
Yeah,
hopefully he's okay.
That might have just, been a hard snap of the ankle on the grab there. A quarterback sack for the Riptide there. Bad way to start. And yeah, Bushy is going to come off limping. And the Badgers are going to need to figure out something else to do at quarterback here towards the end of this game.
Zane Bushy has played so well in this one for the Badgers. Again, the Badgers have had a lot of different players in at quarterback this season. Ray Kirkland's played some quarterback, Marquise Hughes as well, Bushy.
Yep. And then they've also done some direct snaps to Jonathan Joseph. He didn't make any pass attempts, but he has taken some snaps and faked some passes to take off running. So a couple of options with Hughes and Joseph as potential QBs. And it's going to be 2nd down and 14, as it looks like they've got Joseph coming out to take the snaps here. Joseph has had himself an electric game already. 2 touchdowns scored on special teams and defense, 2 defensive takeaways. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking, takes off running, bouncing to the outside, finds the sideline, heading down the sideline, hard hit. Shortly after going out of bounds, it doesn't knock him off his feet. That's going to be close to the marker. Do they give him the generous spot? Looks like they gave him a generous spot here, and he is going to have the 1st down.
And he barely came across there on the side, like knocked the defender over during the collision. A nice play from Jonathan Joseph.
Jonathan Joseph, he's been a one-man highlight reel today. Can he perform a miracle and lead the Badgers down the field? It'll be 1st and 10 from the 37.
A lot of horns coming.
Yeah, 16-yard run from Joseph on that play. 2 receivers on either side. Snap, steps back, takes off, looking, now looking, dancing, finds the sideline again, and he's got another 1st down.
Joseph there faked the throw a couple times because, again, there's no way for the Riptide to know that Jonathan Joseph is not a quarterback. He does many things, but he has not thrown a pass this season for the Badgers.
Yeah, those receivers just stretching the field for him effectively.
And he's so explosive that he can make something out of literally nothing.
Yeah, a 13-yard gain on that run by Jonathan Joseph. It'll be 1st and 10 from midfield, and Jonathan Joseph is looking shaken up after that last play, and the Badgers might be forced to call timeout here. Joseph might just be gassed after doing a lot of running around. Hard to say. Hope he is okay.
It was a one-man show there.
He's been a one-man show all day. The Badgers need to find something. They are running on duct tape and a dream out here. You know, Marquise Hughes been battling an injury after being the primary quarterback all season. Ray Kirkland not here at this game, either hurt or absent. Shane Bushy just went down with an ankle injury. Jonathan Joseph down on one knee on the bench now. Not sure what's happened to him.
The Badgers have light.
The Badgers, they still have a chance.
It's not done yet.
It's not done yet, but they're still looking out for a miracle here at the end of this game, towards the end of the season, in our last home game here at the 5th annual Shalika Rogers Memorial Sweets Bowl. Marquise Hughes, the 3rd quarterback to take snaps for the Badgers, as he lines up in shotgun, 1st and 10 from midfield. Two receivers either side, takes the snap, looking to throw, fires to the outside over the head of John Vieira. That'll be incomplete, but gave Joseph a chance to take a breather as he is coming back out onto the field.
That's a smart play in some way when you think about it from Marquise Hughes, because John Vieira was marked up perfectly on the sideline. Nothing they could do on that play. And now Joseph coming back in.
Yep.
Interesting thing, Marquise Hughes in the lone win so far for the Badgers had an 82% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. He performed very well, but Jesse, ever since that injury, as you said, hasn't been the same at quarterback.
Yeah, it's been tough because he is such a athletic guy. He's got so much talent with both his arm and his legs, but has really been limited due to the injury. And they're going to keep him at quarterback. So they're going to have Joseph as a receiver now. And he's going to be alone on the right side of the formation. 3 receivers on the left side. What's the play here on 2nd and 10? Hughes takes the snap, looking, fires a deep shot for Joseph. Joseph caught it! No, they say he didn't. They say he bobbled it.
It's out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Oh, that's brutal.
That is absolutely brutal. Looked like he came down with it. Again, you need a football move. There's a lot of videos on this. It's really complicated what even a catch is in the sport of football according to different people. But you need to make either a football move or have it inbounds.
Yeah.
It looks like he bobbled it and then went out.
It looked like he got both feet down, but it looked like he was bobbling it in the process. I don't know.
That's one of those where we'll definitely go back at the replay and look.
Oh, for sure. 3rd and 10. The Badgers still incredulous that their miraculous deep pass ruled incomplete. 3rd and 10 now, and I think they've gone back to Joseph taking the direct snap. Takes it, takes off running out of room, but still weaving around, still looking, still pointing. Oh, lost the football. Lost the football, and it's being run back by the Riptide. And I think that's going to be your ball game as it's a scoop and score for number 50, Kyle Barnes. And that might just be the final nail in the coffin.
Jonathan Joseph tried to elude the defense. Ball came out. Rule the fumble by the referee. Taken back by Barnes, and nothing the Badgers can do about it.
One fake pass too many as that one slips out of his hands. And that might just seal it. I mean, if the Riptide get this upcoming PAT, it would be a 2-score game in their favor. A complete flip of the script as they've now scored 22 unanswered.
In one quarter, too.
In the 4th quarter.
It was 20-6 at the beginning of the 4th.
And big PAT coming up. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 once again. Their only PAT kick attempt was blocked by Joseph, but they are 2 for 2 on 2-pointers so far today. They're trying for 3 for 3 to take a 2-score lead. Gonzalez takes the snap, rolling to his left, flips it out to 16. 16 runs it, stood up at the line, and he has stopped short. And
not done
so it is a 1-score game still. No idea how much time the Badgers have left, but a touchdown and a 2-point conversion would tie the game for the Badgers. But again, it's just a matter of how much time they have left and do they have a miracle left in them. after the attempted miracle on that last drive ends in disaster.
A meeting of the team, both teams conversing on the side.
The refs, I think, are walking out. I think that's the ball game. Yep, the teams are heading to midfield. The game is over. The officials have ruled that the game is over. Your final score, the Rhode Island Riptide 28, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 20. A near upset for the Badgers, but the wheels came off in the fourth quarter as the Riptide scored 22 unanswered points to take the win and improve their record to 4-2 on the season, while the Badgers fall to 1-6.
And again, to put it in perspective how great of an upset it would have been if the Badgers were to pull out with this one. Both teams played the New England Black Panthers in their last game. The Badgers lost 20-6. The Riptide won 41-0. So the fact that the Badgers kept it this close, they led 20-6 after 3, a great valiant effort from them against a very explosive Riptide team. And a good job by the Riptide in the face of a lot of halftime adversity to pull out with a win. This is a team that's been battle-tested. They've won some close games, and they win it this one. They win this one against the Golden Badgers.
All right, well, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for tuning in, everybody, and thank you to Golden Badgers Nation for tuning in all season long. I know the Wi-Fi not being good here at Daly Field is a major bummer, and having to wait for the recording to get the full video is a bummer, but you guys have stuck around and watched and listened throughout the season, and I'm grateful for the support here. I'm grateful to the Badgers organization for bringing me back summer after summer to be allowed the privilege to provide this coverage for you all. It's been a fun season. Didn't get a chance to see a win here at home, but got a chance to see a lot of great explosive plays, and this might have been the most explosive game I've seen from the Badgers in a long time. This was a lot of fun. This summer was a lot of fun. Thank you all again for a great summer season. And for one last reminder, be sure to go down in the description section of this video where you can find the GoFundMe page for the Shalika Rogers Memorial Fund here at the 5th Annual Sweets Bowl, a good cause to donate towards. And for this, the home slate of the 2025 summer season for the MetroWest Golden Badgers, that's going to be a wrap. For Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. We're going to play our sponsor videos and our trailer for Only Way Is Up before we close this one out. But from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts, the final score, the Riptide 28, the Badgers 20. Alongside Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for another great summer, and have a good night.
Hi, my name is Cam from Cam's Crochet Creations. I'm here at this Holland Green every Sunday from 10 to 1, and I sell bags, bucket hats, bandanas, stress blobs, dinosaurs, and more, so come check it out.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing, LLC. I am very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.